Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Rachel here, and I have my good friend Mary Lou Rodriguez, master hypnotherapist, and I'm going to say expert on fear as well. Mary Lou and I had a really good conversation recently about the question that I get asked the most and what you have to help people through a lot with your hypnotherapy, and that is how to overcome fear, the big F word. Now, I just was speaking at an event a few days ago, and there was a woman that came up to me and she said, I really enjoyed your speech, but how do you actually get past fear? I feel like fear is paralyzing me. And I'm going to tell you my relationship with fear, because I feel like fear still to this day, I don't think fear really ever goes away. I think the relationship that we have with fear can definitely change. Would you agree?
That's absolutely correct.
Now, fear can come up in a lot of different ways. So
That's right.
There's fear of failure.
That's right. Fear of success, fear of taking action, self-sabotage, fear of public speaking. There are so many fears.
Fear of what other people are going to think about you.
That's
Fear of
right.
being judged.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. Now, the way that I look at fear now, and this is something that I think that you can validate, that our brains, our beautiful brains, are designed to protect us.
That's right.
And fear is this little signal that our brain sends to our body that maybe we should be careful and worried about something because it is trying to protect us. Isn't that sweet? Such a sweet little brain.
It really is.
Which is good if there's some like actual danger that's happening.
That's
like if you have that fearful feeling and you're walking down like a dark alley and there's actual danger happening, like pay attention to that. But also fear can happen when really there's not any real danger. And this is where fear of judgment and fear of failure, that pops up a lot. Now, the way that I recommend to people, you just really have to look at fear as if it is this almost like this dance that you have to do. At least for me, that fear is there for a reason, so it's good to thank fear. Thank you so much, fear, for being there.
Right.
And the process that I do and that I have, I'm going to have you guys do this week within your actionable, is taking a look at what I'm really afraid of. And I always map out what like the worst case scenario possibly can be.
That's right.
Because it's almost always not as bad as we think it's going to be. Okay, so if I quit my job, like, what is the worst that could happen? Well, I could have no money. I could lose my house. I could be hungry. And then, like, mapping out all of the things, like the bad things that could happen. And then I think of the best case scenario. Like, what is the best possible thing that could happen? Like, I could have a thriving business. I could feel free. I could have like the excitement. I could do what I want with my life. And usually, if you really think hard, the list of possibilities is going to be way bigger than the things that could actually go wrong. And this is something that you taught me. I don't know if you know this. You might. That really nothing can ever be taken away from you forever, because we generate possibility. We generate wealth. We are the creators of our life. And so if you do lose your job, what can you do? Well, I could always look for another job. If you do have to move out of your house, well, guess what? There's other house opportunities.
That's right.
So if you really break it down that way, and we're going to have you walk through this in your actionable this week, more often than not, the fear is unrealistic. Would you say that's correct?
That is true. That is
Awesome.
true.
Now, fear also, like we've talked about affirmations at the beginning of this journey on Spark School, and I think it's maybe in one of the first 3 modules, and something that actually our videographer, Chad, said today to me. He was like, I use this amazing statement whenever I feel fear. And that is, I release fear from every cell in my DNA. Now, he tells himself this over and over whenever he's feeling that fear settle in. And guess what? His mind starts changing. And since our mind and our thoughts are our language of our mind, and our feelings are the language of the body, if you can change the thoughts that you're thinking, and if you really believe that fear is being released from your DNA, your brain is going to stop sending those fearful emotions to your body, and you're going to stop actually feeling fear. So when you're moving through life and things that you normally would be afraid of are popping up, you're not going to feel the fear because you're telling your brain that. And you have to be very, very, very careful about what you're telling yourself, both aloud and both inside of your thoughts.
That's absolutely right. What Rachel's talking about is reprogramming your conscious mind consciously and your subconscious mind consciously.
Yes. And guess what? We've got something for you. In fact, if you go back one module, we released a free hypnosis session around fear. Now, if you haven't listened to it yet, we're dropping it below again. In fact, there is an entire series around very specific topics around fear. And if you see one of those and you're like, yes, I have fear of success, I've been there, then dive into that, because it's going to be very, very helpful in helping to reprogram that subconscious mind of yours.
That's right.
All right, guys. Now, fear does not have to hold you back. Fear can actually fuel you if you look at it right. And if you recognize it, that typically when you're feeling fear, it means that you're being challenged. It means that you're expanding. It means that you are on the right path. So next time you feel fear inside of you, think like, man, something really exciting might be happening. And guess what? We've got the tools for you to actually help you take that action and that movement forward so you can face your fears and get that life that you are absolutely obsessed with. Am I right, sister?
That is absolutely right. We are limitless.